Right for protest, man. Now, we not Christians out here. We will defend ourselves. You understand me? We will defend ourselves, man. Now, the police is out here.
I.S.U.P.K.
Protectors of the people, black watch. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Setting up zones every block. Protectors of the people, black watch. Back up, back up, back up, back up. We gon' bring it out. Still undefeated. Still West. Still keep the heat up. Still in the streets. Still on the block.
I.S.U.P.K.
The white man is the devil, drop dead and kick rocks. Blood of an Israelite, this for the 12 tribes. I'm a soldier, motherfucker, so I'm ready to block. Cause the line play with your life. Now who they talking about that UPK? Long beards and them niggas with them boots and braids. Racing up the children of Israel every goddamn day. Warfare, angry black men with phrase. UPK, motherfucker. Still in the hood with the ox. Setting up zones every block. Protectors of the people, black watch. UPK, them priests and prophets, we gon' bring it out. Still in the hood with the ox. Setting up zones every block. Protectors of the people, black watch. UPK, them priests and prophets, we gon' bring it out.
There is no white Jesus. Jesus Christ was a black man from Jerusalem. We're gonna get it for y'all the scriptures, man. Fully hair, skin like bronze. But you still don't believe to love the damn oppressor. Why do you love the oppressor so much when he does nothing for you? He does nothing but murder, rape, and rob, and pillage on the damn earth. You love the pale skin devil so damn much that you turn on your own people. Black leaders are no good. Black leaders in America are nothing but Christian coons. Nothing but traitors to the black, Hispanic, and Native American people. But those are the ones you love. You love TD You love Creflo Dollar. I'm nothing but traitors to our damn race. I'm nothing but coons, man. And love the oppressor and don't fight for their own people. We're here to teach you the truth about what's going on in America. Yeah, Revelation chapter 1, verse 13. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, and verse 13. And in the midst of the seven candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man. To the Son of Man. This is talking about a black man named Jesus Christ.
That is bleak.
He won't stop, yeah. He won't stop, yeah. Blessed by the Most High. With my motherfucking eyes, how you gonna stop if you with what on me? Won't stop, yeah. He won't stop, yeah. Blessed by the Most High. With my motherfucking eyes, how you gonna stop if you with what on me? Shalana on my eyes, we won't stop. Setting them stones, taking back the block. They don't wanna know what we be like. Home of the truth in the bed, gon' watch. Giving the word, making this move. We can't stop, we can't lose. At the school, starting new. One way school, place your food, call it the truth. I can go really straight out the damn zoo. Fuck with the I cannot pop at your do. Everybody trying to be a Hebrew, yeah. We're fucking with the one West. I don't know nobody in the flesh. Up in the news and we talk to the press. I'll put the sword to your neck. Who next to flex? I suggest you stay out to play. Won't play like every day. Hey, one way to PK. Hey, ain't no other way. Hey, he won't stop. Yeah, he won't stop. Yeah, blessed by the Most High. With my motherfucking eyes, how you gonna stop if you with what on me? Won't stop. Yeah, he won't stop. Yeah, blessed by the Most High. With my motherfucking eyes, how you gonna stop it? You with what on me?
All those good things. Let me tell you a few things about Hebrew Academy. Okay, Hebrew Academy is not, the frat, the white man's frat where you go in and you get spanked on the ass and all that. This ain't that. You understand? This ain't the white man's army where you going in, getting yelled at, doing all types of half homosexual things, being naked with each other and all this and that. This ain't those things. Hebrew Academy is the most honorable service of the work of the Lord, man. Building our nation, building our kingdom up, challenging our brothers with these challenges, mastering the sword, sharpening the sword. All these things that you're going to learn, brothers, starting tomorrow, August 29th. Things that you're going to learn that you're going to use, you're going to be able to use to defend you, yourself, your family, and this nation. That's what Hebrew Academy is about integrity, about character, about building up those things that's important. When things get tough, when things get hard, are you gonna run? Are you gonna fear? Are you gonna abandon your brothers? That's what Hebrew Academy is about. The most honorable duty a Black, Hispanic, and Native American man should take on this earth in this life. You understand? Way far above anything that you learn from the oppressor, anything that you learn from the oppressor schools, any societies or fraternities or groups that you can be a part of. There's no bond stronger, more powerful than the bond that you will create in Hebrew Academy. Going through the trials, going through the tribulations, going through the challenges. You understand? And those challenges that you will face in Hebrew Academy are challenges that you will face in this walk. Building up this nation, building up yourself, serving our King, serving our Lord, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. All these things is what you're going to learn, brothers. Take this to heart.
I.S.U.P.K.
Do not fear, no cowards, no excuses. You understand?
I.S.U.P.K.
So tell me, how can I turn the other cheek while this wicked world trying to smother me? Something gotta shake, I'm gonna cry it out. Time to gird up my loins and ride out. In my soul, I feel devastation. In my eyes, I see desolation. On my door, death is waiting. But I don't want to see no more desolation.
Here's the great thing. Somebody
without Commandin GEN.YAHANNA. These priests and prophets in the I.S.U.P.K. that Commandin GEN.YAHANNA through the
This is a protest, a religious lawful protest, man. Now, we not Christians out here. We will defend our...
Hey, I'm just following orders. Let me get one of those slow motion pictures, man. One of the slow motion pictures.
You gotta shoot at 60 frames per second.
Come on, now.
They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move it caution. Cause if they make the wrong move, it caution. See me, they like, ooh, keep on shopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. I'm on my way. Coming up on my bullshit. They see me, they like, ooh, keep on shopping. I'm on my body, real niggas right beside me. Damn right, I brought my army, going up like a rocket, and can't nobody stop me. These niggas garbage, so watch your mouth, boy. Coming all black, slithering house, call me mouth, boy. I'm off the hip like a cowboy. I'm a king, you should bow, boy. Shorty like that, man, you cut up. Nothing I can handle. 144 in the booth, going Rambo. Niggas do you dirty like a stick in a bando. That's why I play the corner like a bum with a banjo. I'ma lead by example. Keep on sobbing, got this the bitch with the soap. It ain't rap, it's assault. Can't taste a bitch unless she with the coke. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. As if they make the wrong move and coach shit. Coming up on my I do it how a veteran be. You better than me. I'm Reggie at the edge of the key. It's all money, no honey. Think you settle and see. You locked up, fucked up, and it's back to the streets. It's one West. You can check the residency. I reside with soldiers died on the soles of their feet. Cause there's death before designer. Ain't no power than me. Cause I'm cold as a bitch's shoulder. You ain't calling a week. Get the cooking on his beat. Hope you like it well done. Got them killers rolling with me and they all red rum, red rum, red rum. Got you fucking scared some. Get the banging on his beat till my fucking head numb. Black block, red drum, black and yellow air ones. Homie, you ain't got a vest. I suggest you wear one.
Told you niggas we was going up. Doing a lot of talking. Now these niggas ain't saying shit.
Feeling like a legend in this shit, lil nigga, I'm past veteran. Never feeling third, lil nigga, I'm past second. Guns, I gotta have them all like Ash Ketchum. Shotty break a nigga ribs up like his wife left him. We all stepping, kill you with kindness cause I'm dead nice. That 5'7" put you 6 feet, not talking height. That judge giving out 5, what you do in life. These hands are rude, GPS, a mean right. That's mean right, we build different, you know the vibes. And we stamped it authentic, we notarized. I keep a 144 because I know a kind. Noah's Ark, you know I'm with animals when we flowing by. We back again, no cap, when I'm with cap again. Yeah, they said they want smoke until we matching them. Everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K, but no acronym. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. As if they make the wrong move and coach shit. See me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. I'm on my way. Coming up on my devotion.
Trap exempt.
Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers. Because we
Make a
really,
reference to the
really
parking
need
lot.
you down
Back up,
here.
man.
From all the pain
Come
that
back
we
out on the
going
street.
through. We know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you. I just wanna fall on you.
About 5 minutes.
Waiting and to play with. I raise my children up to say the same shit. Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers. Because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through. We know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you. But I just wanna fall on you. To show the devils you waiting and to play with. I raise my children up to say the same shit.
Yeah. Go ahead. Come on, West. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Look, I keep it low to the T. UPK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Man, this shit is too easy. I'm on gold, but they don't believe me. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, VJ. Hear them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. Mama grind, bitch, and work. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. Them niggas weak, cause they be churching. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If he cross the line, I'ma back up and I'ma hit his ass with his virus. And I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas we eatin'. I'm in this bitch with the itis. Say all y'all do the street. Tell y'all to do the street. If a nigga made the wrong move, he make his ass out the league. He ain't one of us hit the league. He ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go ahead. Look, I keep it low to the T. UPK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat.
You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my cleats, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my target's on the move, bitch, I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Color Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commandin General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we pace. We form up in ranks. We body bag this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit.
I keep it low to the T. UPK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go ahead.
Playing on this track right here, nah. It's a full-grown man right here.
No cowards, no excuse, you understand?
You understand? It's an event every time we come through. Commanding General YAHANNA and this heavy hitting crew. Real niggas with an attitude. How about you? I repeat, real niggas with an attitude. How about you? The Chronicles of the King, 69 to the present. Hardcore Nazarene. We ain't never been a peasant. Like the ghetto was a present. Holding everything blessed in the most high's present. It's over and go this precious. They thought it was effervescent. Get in class, learn your lesson. Out the belly of the beast will increase. At least observe the feast of Yahweh. Eat some lamb, make connections. He's a little sanctuary. No question, we ain't ever been crabs in the barrel. This is life under Pharaoh. From a lifestyle apparel to walk in the straight narrow. More fight than your average barrel for the price of a sparrow. Using practical knowledge, not just the narrow. This is ice in the mirror. They cutting us like the grass. Keep plucking us out the past. It punish us out the ass. I tell my people that love them about the criminal justice, about the past. Then we stuff in the ego. These vultures are evil. Just look at what they done to our people. Covered up the face of the judges with paint off for easel. I be meditating terrorists and deliver my keynote. UPK, we got diesel. No cowards forever. We go while you use us. We bringing back the Lord's nation with much long suffering. The camp is in concentration. In spite of the correlations, they faggots in formation. They be taking an evil. We bout to stage an invasion. We got the streets in a rage. Once the priest hit the pavement, vengeance from the Lord is the white man payment. The prophets of Yahweh ain't nothing to fucking play with. Some of you gone lukewarm, my niggas stay lit. Y'all complacent, we stay spitting yoga fire in your faces. Free in the flock of the slaughter from out of this matrix. The definition of racist is believing you're on top. And as a matter of fact, we got that position every night. It shouldn't come as a shock. Yeah, SHALAM won't stop when we come back to our power. Who wanna walk with the bomber cloud? We keep the summer hot, winter on icicle. You get that spiritual power, ain't gotta buy a pistol. Ripping bodies, caught by the crystal. No harm, you're struck by a missile. You serve Yahweh, you're invincible. Gotta be one of the 12 tribes of Israel, a nation under God indivisible. Our power is critical, from analog to digital. We coming back. UPK ain't running, but we running that pay your tithes where that money at. Put on the dummy hat, thinking it's cool. We're not hosting an intergalactic carrier. We're torn, he raised the horn of his people for rulership. UPK gon' be ruling shit. Yahweh is ruling with an iron rod. The only dialogue is kind out of one kind. You don't like it, you could die a fugitive and vagabond. Me, I'ma have cattle and a catalog of slaves. Tell the nations get in shape. Otherwise we do nuking them. They gonna build Jerusalem. Christians would call it safe. You can call it what you want, but them roads better be gold paved straight out of these OKs. 1,000 years of sin, picking cotton, no shit, finger pricking, blood dripping from all the thorns. I'll be keeping the bench warm. You've been warned before they disappear. You've been warned.
Yeah. What's going on, fam? Commandin General here. I'm up in the building, man, on a Wednesday night, man. Just want to kick it with y'all with some scriptures. Hey, if you got questions, go to the blackwatch.news channel. You can watch on any channel. But if you specifically want to throw some questions at me, go to the blackwatch.news channel. I'm going to monitor that one this week, all right? And on that one, I'll answer any questions or anything that y'all want to throw at the wall, and we can come back with it. So let me run it down. Big shout out to Dorcas Isad, Just Art in Paint. What's going on, sis? Sharab Rana Yahawada with all them hand claps. Big shout out to you, sis. All right, Officer Karanya Allah. Big shout out to you, warrior, holding it down from North Cal. Powerful brothers out there. Y'all got a beautiful captain over there, man. I mean, beautiful in the sense of a righteous, strong, honorable brother. It's when I mean beautiful. Ain't no homo up in here. You don't see me in no goddamn purple, do you? You already know. Big shout out to my sister, my mother, my cousin, my friend, my buddy, Tazalai. Big shout out to you. Y'all was smart about Shimmy. I was shy, holding it down. 09 Lin. 09 Lin. I think I got that route. Yeah, I was smart. I thought about Shimmy. I was shy. Sister, assistant, a trooper, Naquab. Okay, Portland. Oh man, I can't wait to see I'm gonna see Portland, man. I'm going to see Portland. Dorcas Yasads. Shalom. Y'all smart about Shimmy. Shai. Sis, what's going on up in Louisiana? Okay, doing it right. Denisha Jones. Y'all was shalom. Y'all smart about Shimmy. Shai. Sis, what's happening? All right. So we're gonna get into it. Big shout out to Kushab Lawyer. Y'all smart about Shimmy Al-Shai, wife of property of Captain of 13,000 Kahantham Yard, one of the baddest cats in the game. He's coming up as well. Done bust out so many camps, man, down there in the South, spreading even more. Badass dude doing it up down there in Louisiana. Congratulations to y'all. Congratulations too, sis. I heard you graduated, I believe, from some nursing school. You became a nurse, or I don't know the full details, but I heard you did some great things up there. Judah 720, what's going on? Shalom, Israel, checking in from Newport News, Virginia. Yeah, another tough town. Judah 720, you holding down a tough town as well. You know what I mean? Big shout out to you. Chantel Love, what's going on? Larry Milton, which is Officer 500, Abun Azar. What's going on, Abun? All the way out in Missouri. Is that Missouri? I think that's Missouri. Holding us down, man. Big shout out to you. So, all right. So, let's get into it, man. Y'all know, okay, what y'all want to deal with first? Let me see. Why don't we deal with David Chappelle, then we're going to go to the abortion. And we'll run with that, man. We're going to hang for about an hour, maybe a little more than an hour. ISUPK.com. That's the website, man. Let's get it in. So, we got a story on that David Chappelle. Now, they didn't show. Do we got footage? Are they actually showing the attack? We got any footage of the attack? We do? Okay, let's start the story then.
Comic-Con. Dave Chappelle attacker arrested by LAPD after Hollywood Bowl crisis update. Los Angeles police have identified and arrested the man who allegedly attacked Dave Chappelle on stage at the Hollywood Bowl during the Netflix is a Joke festival.
Right. They hold this whole festival, and I guess he was up in this certain area, and some cat ran up on the stage and just, jumped on him. Go ahead.
Khan, sir. Khan. Police say 23-year-old Isaiah Lee was taken into custody for assault with a deadly weapon on Tuesday night. The deadly weapon in question is a plastic replica gun that contains a knife blade, according to an LAPD statement.
Okay, that's a dangerous thing to carry. You gonna have a replica gun? What you gonna do? You pull that out, somebody with a real gun is going to shoot you. That makes absolutely no sense. You understand? Okay. Go ahead.
Khan, sir. Khan, Salakia. Salakia.
That was it on it? Or you moving to the next page?
Oh,
and let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something about that whole thing with David Chappelle. Everybody that watched that thing that happened to David Chappelle, you should think about every I.S.U.P.K officer, trooper, and above that goes out on these streets. The whole reason David Chappelle was attacked is because David Chappelle is speaking some controversial issues. David Chappelle is one of the few people that spoke up against this LGBTQ community, and they tried to cancel him. They tried to get rid of him. Once again, if you stand up against the evil in a place that is dying to be evil and more evil, because they think that evil and wickedness is how you succeed, then you're going to piss off quite a few people. And that's exactly happened with David Chappelle. People are pissed off with him because he stood up. He stood up and Netflix backed him. White people backed him. You let me know when you're ready to run it, and I'll do it. You on screen, though. I hope you know why you're making these changes. Okay. Go ahead. You ready, you saying? What are you saying? Okay, let's keep going. So that's the main reason he's catching what he's catching. Come on with it.
Khan, sir. It says Lee is being held on $30,000 bail bond. LAPD Public Information Officer Mendez told Deadline this morning. According to the statement, Lee was transported to a local hospital to be treated for injuries sustained during the altercation.
Because, of course, they got hold of his ass, and they beat the cow-living piss out of him. They damn near probably beat him to the edge of his life once they got hold of him. Once they got hold of him, that was it. They started putting it on him, as he should receive. He should receive it because, of course, he's trying to assault a brother for speaking out. For speaking out. Go to Christ's story. I'm gonna come back to it. Go to Christ's story, man, where they saw Peter in them. And they wanted to go after Peter and them as well. Get that for me. All right. Get that for me. He don't need to pull it up on the screen. Now, what you trying to do? Oh, do you? Okay, do your thing. No, do your thing. You die. You stick with me. All right. No. Where the woman saw Peter in the crowd when they were taking Christ away and started questioning Peter. This is the same thing, and that's why what Will Smith did was evil as hell to another black man, because he put it out there also following demons. Following demons, he turned around and went out. And let me explain something to you. This whole entire empire, every single country in this empire is pushing out the vibration for you to take on demons. They want you to take on demons so you can do demonic things. And so when Will Smith got up over there and smacked Chris Rock, he put something out there that taking revenge on other brothers for what you think they did is right, and not without having facts and standing on something that is one of the most, not her, but something that is honorable. You understand? And in the wrong setting, like to be emotional and go off is like what they've always pumped inside black men. That's why we shooting and killing like we do without even knowing yet, because we done got so emotional. Hold on that for a second, right? Because we done got so emotional, you understand, with our actions that we flip off the handle at any turn. And that's what's got to stop among us. That's what got to stop. And that's what they doing. They putting them demons on you. Now you're going to have to learn how to come off them. We're going to teach them to you tonight. Go ahead, go back. You can go back to it. Yeah, I was just saying the signals, you know what I'm talking about from we talk. You can. Go ahead.
Conor McCon. The book of Matthew, chapter 26 and verse 69. Now Peter sat without in the palace.
Now they took Christ away, but Peter's on the outside of the palace while they all inside raging, mad at Christ for what he said, just like these groups are mad with David Chappelle for what he said by bringing out about how they can't control him and how, and he ain't even against them. David Chappelle is not even against them. But this vibe is out in the air. Like the vibe in the empire is you got to accept anything that the empire comes up with, or they want a mob on you, which is why the Most High is raising up an army. Because when that happens in the earth, the Lord got to give power to the prophets to put people to death. And that day is going to come when the empire fall and is no longer in power. That day of correcting all this evil is going to come to pass, and that's what you see going on right now. It's going to become almost intolerable to have an opposite opinion than the empire after a while. You ain't going to be. That's what even among Esau, that's what they fighting over Elon Musk buying Twitter and all this beef that they having because they feeling like they're not getting their voice out. And they mad at the other side. You understand? When it was supposed to be an empire where you had free speech. But that's really a damn lie. You wouldn't be attacked every damn day. Go ahead.
And a damsel came unto him, saying, Thou also was with Jesus of Galilee.
Right. You was also with him. You was also endorsing what he was saying about this other kingdom beside this one, about him being a king. They couldn't understand it. They was upset with him for even joining Christ. Go ahead, And the same happens with these officers out here. Right before the show, Marab played you a clip where Kapash had to back a dude up off the camp that was mad and furious at what the brothers were saying. The very thing that could save brothers and sisters' lives. This evil world want you to hate that. This evil world want you to not at all even speak out against him, which is why every sister that got a Hebrew Israelite brother, you should celebrate him. Right. He's putting himself in danger every time he go out on that street. Same way now, listen, and here's what's so evil about it. The David Chappelles of the world was never in danger before, but the prophets have always been in danger for thousands of years. But the David Chappelles of the world were not in that type of situation. But now, as we get closer and closer to evil, and more weak brothers like Will Smith snap under pressure, then we run into this type of situation, man. And it's important that an honorable woman be supported and backed, not a wicked woman, man. How you gonna back up a wicked ass broad that's doing all kind of evil, and now you ready to defend her? This is what done twisted this place up, man. Give me some more.
Conor McCon. But he denied before them all, saying, I know not what thou sayest.
Right. He lied. He lied to get out of it, which is what Satan wants you to do. They want, regardless of how David Chappelle feels, they want David Chappelle to stop saying what he's saying. And they're going to want you to stop saying what you're saying. You're going to have to be strong enough to stand up and say the things that the Lord have shown you in these scriptures. Because these things that the Lord have shown us in these scriptures, they don't go along with regular society. They read against society. We're going to talk about this abortion tonight. I'm trying to talk about David Chappelle because my head want to pop off over the abortion. These black people, I sat there. I'm just going to give you a little tad bit of what's in my brain about it. I turn on CNN today, and an East Indian is sitting up in Congress representing the so-called Democratic Party in the Black Caucus. And this East Indian is telling us about how horrible it is for her to not have the right to murder these babies. How it's so wrong, and it's her body and all this. Meanwhile, she's a goddamn heathen, man, and ain't suffered nothing we suffered in 40. She got her own country. Them Punjabas over there got nuclear weapons.
Right.
They got nuclear weapons. How the hell is she going to represent us and say what we should? And we better represent us. The hell you going to let some other heathen from some other country from around the world because they was born here. Meanwhile, they upbringing come from another country. They ain't even your bloodline, and they going to decide what it is that you should and should not stand for. It's going to be them that decide that bull crap. No, man. No, we're going to talk about that tonight. But let's get back to David if we could. All right. Is there more in the story? And or rather, let's go on and play the, you can go and play the tape out if you don't mind. Yeah.
Prolific producers that hip hop has ever presented, the mighty man Lil. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for hip hop history. I am going to kill it. Where I gotta see it. Thank God that was clumsy. He's back there getting stomped. Where did that come from? Thank you, son. It was a trans man.
Ran the football tackle on, with the football tackle. Once again, and he joked about that, but this is probably some horribly molested child who now is angry at David Chappelle for telling the truth. The one truth, part of the truth, of course, he doesn't actually, but the one thing that could free that brother from his pain every day, instead, he lashes out to kill that one thing. And that's the spirit of this place, okay? That's the spirit of this place. Let's get it in. We're going to the scripts on it, right? Oh, wait. You got the tape. And you got more in the story? Okay. All right. Go on. Let's go on back to Christ and what Peter suffered being with Christ and how it made Peter so afraid. Like you can't be a scared man if you a prophet of God. You decide to be a prophet of God. Matter of fact, keep that and also pull me the scripture that says, I think there's in the Apocrypha where it said, "Well, now goest to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation." But read this one with Christ. This is the most important one. And Peter wasn't no joke. Remember, Peter pulled the sword and cut a man's ear off. So he was better than a goddamn ninja with that sword. But the mob scared the hell out of Peter, man. Go ahead. And Christ knew it would. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 26 and verse 71. And when he was gone out into the porch, another maid saw him and said unto them that were there, this fellow was also with Jesus of Nazareth.
Right. Was they also with him? They trying to get, pair them up because they in a mob mentality, man. They in a mob mentality, and that's what you do when you trying to push demons. You turn into a mob, and that's what these communities are turning into because they trying to push something that is clearly against the Most High. Go ahead.
And again, he denied with an oath, I do not know the man.
He lied straight up. He had rolled with Christ, ate with Christ, slept with Christ, but was afraid in that day, man, when that mob came. You understand? And a mob of black people and Latinos out and Native Indians is enough to scare any man damn near. You understand? But you got to be stronger than fear, trusting in the Most High. Because look what Peter did once. Damn, you feel this for a minute, fam. Feel this. Walk with me on this for a second. Peter, who was a fisherman, unknown in the powers of structure, unknown in the temple, unknown in any of that. Walk with me on this for a second. He was scared to death of that mob. But because he returned later on and stood up for Christ, he changed the world. Peter changed the world. He certainly changed Jerusalem. They took over Jerusalem. They ran the Sadducees and Pharisees out of business and took over Jerusalem and eventually took over the world in this respect. That we reading about him right now today. Every heathen on earth is following what Peter laid down as though it was for them, even though it's not. Every heathen in the world is following it. So just having the courage to stand with the Lord in these days is what will change everything for you. You understand? And you can see just by a little beef what happened with David Chappelle. Imagine when you get out there what you put out. That's why you're going to do like the scriptures say in Ezekiel. You're going to make your face hard against their face. Our people going to face the truth. And we're going to change in turn just like Peter forced us to. He forced us to do that by being strong in his word. Give me some more on the story. He got it in.
And after a while came unto him, they said, they that stood by and said to Peter, surely thou art one of them, for thy speech betrayeth thee.
Right. He's saying you one of them. Oh, yeah. Them words you using, that betrayeth you. That's going to fool you. That's why if you left the truth and went in the world, find your way back. Don't stay out there. It ain't no way you're going to tell me you left the truth and you having a wonderful, happy-go-lucky life. You watching this show right now with a grain of regret in your soul that you don't have to have. I know I could imagine. Could you imagine how Peter must have felt after he had betrayed Christ and Christ had already told him you was going to betray me? Could you imagine how he must have felt? I mean, he must have felt like a real sucker at that point. I'm just adjust this, all right? He must have felt like crap after that. You know what I'm saying? He must have felt, forget about it, terrible. Because, of course, bear with me, y'all. I'm just adjusting this mic a little. Because, of course, here he was down with Christ, and in the hour that he needed to be, was afraid of this damn mob, man, which is what happens if you ain't got your head right on. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Then began he to curse and to swear, saying, I know not the man.
He got angry, like to really back him up. I don't know the man. Go ahead.
And immediately the cock crew.
And the cock crowed after that because that's exactly what the Lord said was going to happen. It's exactly what Christ said, man. You're going to run, man. You're going to be scared. You're going to run in that day. Big shout out, man, okay, to the Kentucky 8. All right? Captain Kaposh and
that's right.
Kentucky 8. You know what I mean? Constantly hold. That's an honorable brother right there and a warrior, man. You understand? Congratulations to his wife and that amazing miracle baby boy that they got. Big shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? And all them brothers out there. That cat running up on him in this tape, he don't understand who he running up on. He running up on prophets of God that have no fear. Them cats took on the whole Black Lives Matter mob with guns. They had guns. And they took on the whole Black Lives Matter mob and walked out of there clean. Battle all of them, man. You understand? A man like that, man, if you got wisdom, a man like Kapash that'll do that for the Most High in Christ, you better respect him, man. You better respect him because the Lord respects him. How you know the Lord delivered him, didn't he? All right, then you better respect that. Come. And you better respect it. It was amazing what them brothers did, man. Them brothers is all honorable, man. We had a plaque made for them brothers, man. Matter of fact, is my plaque downstairs? Is there a plaque downstairs? Yeah, we made a plaque, man, and commissioned that. Big shout out to General Muhammad. We made a plaque out, and it's commissioned to be in every school. Every school we build gonna have that plaque for the Kentucky 8 that took on, you understand, Black Lives Matter in a mob. The police didn't want. They called the police about what's going on. The police said, man, we don't want nobody in that area, man. Y'all get out that area. We ain't coming over there. They wasn't even coming over there because that's how much they was going off out there. And then the Most High killed half of them afterward. Half of them cats all dead now. Same ones that was out there mobbing that they had gassed up, half of them is dead. Some in the penitentiary, all that. And meanwhile, Kapash and the prophets that came out there, they was the ones that could have saved all of their lives. They was out there marching Black Lives Matter and ended up in jail, dead, on drugs. A couple of them got political offices. The rest is dead and in jail when the cat that was going to really give them Black Lives Matter would have been Kapash. Would have been Kapash. You understand? And here's the thing. Here's what you black women better, boy, oh boy, you need a beating. And you're going to get one after a while. Because you better not be hollering Black Lives Matter, but you willing to kill that baby in your stomach. Oh, wait a minute now. You all about Black Lives Matter, but that baby in your gut, you willing to kill that baby? But Black Lives Matter? Nigga, please. Please, spare me the BS. Spare me the BS. Give me the real niggas, man. Give me the real ones. You telling me we got to kill a baby? You telling me the richest, most powerful? And let me tell you something about that East Indian that pissed me off. Here, this East Indian made it to Congress. This East Indian made it all the way to Congress. And so, in essence, that East Indian traded the life of a child to get in Congress. You telling me after 400 years of our forefathers doing what they did and suffering what they suffered, you telling me I got to kill my baby so my woman could get into Congress? Nigga, please. Don't even hurt my soul with that garbage, man. I got to give up my child because I want to get into the Senate. That's why you can't never follow no heathen, man. You cannot never follow no heathen. Black problems can only be fixed with black solutions, man. Latino problems can only be fixed with Latino problems. Native Indian problems can only be fixed with Native Indian problems. And all three of their problems can only be fixed because they're part of the nation of Israel. Give me that nonsense, man. You tripping. You understand? And that's, yeah. No sound? No, we got sound. What you need? No, I thought you called. Oh, no, I didn't. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's exactly what they did to Peter. You can't cave to the pressure. You can't cave to the pressure, man. Give me some more in that verse.
Sir. And Peter remembered the word of Jesus, which said unto him, before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice.
You cannot deny that the black man, Jesus Christ, Yahawashi in the Hebrew, got the plan to deliver us out of this kingdom. You can't deny it even if they hate you. Even if they hate you, you can't deny it, man. Captain Kapash, he ain't deny it. He didn't give a damn how many people was out there. There was thousands of them out there, too. Captain Kapash and the Kentucky 8, some badass cats, man. They moving and grooving, man. You understand? They moving and grooving. I can't wait to get out. I'm going out all that, man. I done bought a new SUV, y'all. I done saved up my little coins. I got me a little SUV now. SUV, pickup joint. I'm getting ready to throw the back. I'm gonna spend the money. It costs a fortune, but I'm gonna put one of them hard shells on the back because I'm loading up nothing but gear. Because when I roll out, you might not see a Negro back for a hot second. I'm coming out there Midwest. I'm seeing all them camps, man. You understand? Like them some honorable brothers, man. And they didn't ask nobody to do it. Ain't nobody paid them to do it. They strictly did it because they was taught the truth of the Lord and actually follow what Christ said to do. You understand? And that's what Peter went through. You know what I mean? But Peter still stood up. Like I said, he changed the world. You know how many millions of people are reading the book of Peter's? 1 Peter, 2 Peter. You know how many people around the world in how many languages is reading 1 Peter, 2 Peter? Nigga, you better stand up for Christ. You about to be famous. You try to be famous in Hollywood, then you run into some bald-headed psycho broad, mess your whole mind up, then destroy your whole career. You about to be famous with Christ, man. And that fame lasts way longer than Will Smith. We'll read about him in an ancient history book talking about America. You're going to read about Peter forever. And you're going to watch him get the crown put on his head. Come on, man. We thinking small in this empire. We're thinking too small. You got to change your perspective. That's why Dave got, and then Chris Rock, they said, was in the back. Somebody hit me up in here and said Chris Rock was in the back talking about what? Saying was that Will Smith, which once again, it show you how he was traumatized. You know what I mean? He making jokes about it, but that was trauma. Chris Rock is associating any on-stage altercation with Will Smith. That's why what Will Smith did was so evil to that man. Over that bald-headed evil broad that I heard now wants to divorce because his career done fell. Which means she want to steal half his money and watch her go all the way off the deep end afterwards. I can almost guarantee you she going to self-destruct because she ain't going to have no more mission no more. What you don't understand is when you motivated by demons, you got plenty of energy to do wickedness. And that's what was going on with her. She was full of wickedness and plenty of demons. And destroyed that soul in that man. Okay? And I'm going to hit you with something. Any woman that say she believe in abortion, she's suspect anyway. Because how you going to expect her to care about you when she don't care about what's growing in her vagina? She got a human being growing in her vagina, and she hate that human being. You ain't got a chance. You ain't got a snowball chance in hell. You sitting up there about you got a good woman, and she murdering. Nigga, you better repent. And that's the beautiful part. This part, let's not get lost on this. I don't care if you had an abortion or not. Who gives a damn? You had one, done. 2, 3, done. But you got the truth now. Now you waking up. And just like Peter, listen, if it had been under any other circumstances except for Yahushua, Peter would have went and committed suicide. He'd have had to go kill himself because of how dishonorable he was to the one man that could save the whole nation. What Peter did was heinous before the Lord. But Yahushua, being so right, still brought Peter back, man. He said before Peter even betrayed him, he said, upon this rock shall I build my kingdom, man. He told Peter that. So I'm going to build my kingdom on this rock, even though Peter made a mistake. So guess what? That kingdom Christ is building, he building it on you who done made mistakes before. You made mistakes, but he's still building the kingdom on you. Don't you walk around with no guilt. Get up off that, man. That's not scriptural. That is not in the scriptures, man. Them sins is wiped away as you come into this truth. And you made brand new. Peter went on to do amazing work, man. But that same violence came up against him. That violence came up against him the same way it came up, you understand, against David Chappelle. Give me the other ones I asked for. You remember the other two? Before you even go to that, give me this one. Give me, I know I'm jumping around. You got to jot them down because I'll be throwing them out. Salakia. Give me the one in Ezekiel where that I quoted it, but I want you to read it. The one where he said, make your face hard against their face. Make it like flint. That's the Lord showing us how to stand with this truth, man. You a young brother coming up in here, it look frightening. A lot of you watch us on YouTube and you see our tapes on the street and you like, them niggas look crazy. Them niggas look like terrorists. No, man, we got to get away from it. No. This is what it takes to love black people. You want to love black people? This what you looking at is love. The beast hate it because the beast want you to submit to the evil so you could have peace. You look at us one way and look at the other people in church like they just gentle and nice and wear soft clothing and they speak all calm and they all that. But they that way because they go along with Satan. You don't have no beef if you going along with Satan. It ain't going to be no beef. Who going to be mad at you? You going along. You sitting in church. You got preachers. Top preachers, not just any preachers. Top preachers like Jesse, like I.S.U.P.K, like many others who will endorse abortion. So they ain't got no beef with the kingdom. They ain't going against what the kingdom wants. The kingdom wants you to kill your babies, and they are down with it. But if you want to really show love to blacks, Latino, Native Indians, then you might start looking a little more like us. Because it takes some hard men to actually show love. Could you imagine this? They was getting ready to surround Peter and kill him with Christ, not ever realizing what Peter was about to do for him. Damn. Never even realizing what Peter was about to do for all blacks and Latinos and Native Indians living in Jerusalem. Peter, because he did not give up, woke us up and prepared us for the Romans that were about to kill us in 70 AD, using what Christ had taught him. Come on, man. You can't get better than that. And that's for every brother. That's why you see we'll deal with brothers in prison, brothers is on drugs. We'll wake you up. Knows what you going to do. You done sin, but you've been, the Lord will forgive them sin. If you're willing to repent and come back. You understand? Tell them where you at.
Commandin, sir, the book of Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 8. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads.
To show real love. This is God talking. This ain't man talking. This is God talking. To show love, you got to be strong. Because when you come up against evil, you're going to have a problem. And what David Chappelle did by showing love to black people, by showing us, he was going to be one man that was just not going to compromise on it. Even though he, his whole statements wasn't really against the LGBT, sitting down with him and all. Then he joked around about how he kissed one of them.
I mean, on the DJ tape.
You understand? Salakia. He joked around about how he kissed one of them and all of this. So if he joked around about all of that, they still hated him for it. But us, they fully hate us because we speak against everything they saying. And that's why the Lord said he's going to make you tough. Go ahead, I.
Commandin, sir. As an adamant, harder than flint.
As an adamant, harder than flint. As an adamant. You good, Doc? You got it? At flint. Flint is that little piece of stone that they put in a lighter. You ever see a lighter? That stone is so hard, that's why it creates a spark. It's called flint. And that stone is super hard, so when you strike the metal on it, it creates a spark, which is what's used to light the fire. You understand? That's what adamant stone is like. It's like flint. Hard ass rock. And the Lord saying he made you like that rock. He made, when you wake up in this truth and you start putting this knowledge on, you become like that rock. You become intolerant of what happens with these demons. You come up against demons. And you cast them out of brothers and sisters who want to take that demon on and run out there and just do damage, man. Just Art and Paint said in the United States, the abortion rate for black women is almost 5 times that of white women. You're right. And we are 14% and 11% of the population, respectively. So for our low number of the population, we have more abortions than them. Black and Latino women in America have 350,000 abortions a year. I mean, that is insane. If that ain't a genocidal maniac program, I don't know what is. And they'll probably cut this show off for us speaking freely about how wrong it is for abortion. Like damn near you, they don't want you to have free speech to speak about this. When it should be able to be a free and open discussion, shouldn't it? And again, if you had an abortion, Christ is here to forgive you. Go ahead, Op. Yeah, we can take a break. All right, fam, we're going to have to take a break, man. We're going to come back in a few minutes, man, and get back on it, all right? Live on the UPK. Y'all hang with me. Tell me when I'm off. What's going on, huh?
Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding trap on my chrome. Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding trap on my chrome.
Been out of these streets, nigga trying to eat while I duck police. Own family stealing from me. I'm on the phone me to pray, but white Jesus can't save me. Get him away from me. I don't know what to say. So many niggas hating me. Get him away from me.
Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding trap on my chrome. Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding trap on my chrome.
Go and sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding around with my chrome. Go and sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding around with my chrome. Trying to keep it on the true side, nigga. Laying low to play it cool now, nigga. Ass niggas on the team, I've been known to get the green ever since I was 2'5", nigga. Coop hanging out the roof, nah, nigga. Cause I ain't stunting on them. Put my whole team on so they ain't wanting. When niggas doing bad, you know that they be hating on you. Get the hoping that you fall, they be waiting on it. Bullshit, get bread from the envy. Best friends get to looking like enemies. When you got it in this bank account empty. Perfect recipe to brittle out of jealousy. Looking from a bird's eye view. Learn from everything I've been through. Told my baby girl, if you ain't spending life with the nigga, never let him put a dick up in you. Cause if a nigga wrong, I'ma check that shit. And when you paper long, never flex that shit. Told my son, when you getting money, never take it to a baba, flip it over, then invest that shit. Give a lot of game, trying to bless my kid. Gotta keep it real, that's the best shit. Got hitters up in Philly, back in Texas. When I get up on the track, yeah, I wreck shit.
Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding trap on my chrome. Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding trap on my chrome.
Go and sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding around with my chrome. Go and sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding around with my chrome.
Any man give his life for Yahweh Shai, Mashiach, and Christ, and fall up under that UPK banner. It's my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary. It's all about that warfare, boy. Back up, back up, back up.
So we back. We good? All right. Let's get it on. All right. So where we left off at? What verse you left off at? Come. Go ahead.
From a concert, the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3 and verse 9. As an adamant harder than flint, have I made thy forehead.
Right. The Lord said he made our forehead harder than flint. Go ahead.
Khan, fear them not.
Fear them not. Fear them not. You got to stand up if you want to say something out here. Otherwise, all the demons in hell will be chasing you down. You got to push back up against them. All right, go from there. Give me the other one I asked for, please. I didn't call for that one, did I?
Yeah, that's the paradise self temptation.
Yes, in the Apocrypha. Yes, please.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Right. Prepare your soul for temptation, man. Prepare your soul for the temptation, man, to run. The temptation to go into carnality. The temptation to fail the Most High. Go ahead, I.
Khan. Set thy heart aright.
You got to have your head straight on when it comes to the truth and bringing out the knowledge of the truth. You got to renew that in yourself time and time again. You can't just do it one time and that's it. You got to always be setting your heart aright to be focused on the work of the Lord and all the things the Lord is going to have you do in it. Go ahead.
Khan. And constantly endure.
And constantly endure. Constantly endure against the evil that they're going to put up, man. They was wrong as hell what they did with David Chappelle. And he's going to get more of that because he's the one standing up or at least speaking out against some of the madness that they got going on. You understand? The brothers in the truth, they hate us for that very same reason, but we make our face like flint. We coming up against that. You understand? Because we know, once again, we know, like Paul said to speak this word to them that oppose themselves. They going up against themselves like they went up against Christ. They fighting against Christ when Christ is the one that was going to deliver them. But we couldn't see it. We're going to see it this time. This time in the end, we're going to see it now. Now that we have the record, we're going to definitely see it. That's it on that. Where we going from there, y'all? Was that all the scripts I called for on there? Okay, let's go on to this abortion. Let's finally, y'all let me out the bag on this abortion. You understand? You know, man. Get me up out the bag on this abortion, because this abortion is an abominable thing that they doing. You could have it's such a selfish, demonic thing. Meaning you could have sex. Let me put it this way. Okay. You murder, if you decide you're gonna become a bank robber, you know that it is a possibility that if you go out and rob banks, it's a possibility you're going to end up in the penitentiary. You're going to end up in that penitentiary for 20 years. But for the success of the money that you might get from that bank robbery, you decide, bad decision, you decide you're going to go out and rob banks. Some of you get away. Some of you get caught and go to prison for 20 years. How are you going to be a woman and decide you're going to have sex with who you want to have sex with, but you're going to do an act that brings a life into the world and puts that life in danger, but you don't want no consequences from it. You want to do an act that could bring forth a child, but you don't want none of the consequences if you do bring forth a child. You should have the right to exonerate yourself from the charge. That's like saying, I robbed the bank, yeah, but I'm a human being. This is my body. I got a right to not be incarcerated in the penitentiary. I got a right to not be in a cage. I got a right to not be in jail. I know that, I robbed banks, but It was my decision, and I should have the right to not go to jail. See how dumb that is, man? How dumb and stupid an argument that is. If you do an act that could bring forth a life, you should also know and understand that you might end up getting pregnant. And if you end up getting pregnant, that's somebody else's life you done brought into the mix now. And to add insult to injury, how could you be so damn selfish to think you got a right to, it's your body and you got a right, but what about the rights of that baby? That baby don't have no rights. Because that baby ain't strong and got a gun and got an army, that baby don't have no rights. Because that baby can't speak, he can't see yet, he's still in the womb. Because he can't talk or write his signature on a piece of paper, he don't get an opportunity to live. You decide to kill him or not. You should have the right to kill him because he ain't got the power to do any of the things you have the power to do. That's why Christ's raising up an army. Because in Christ's kingdom, that baby in your belly gonna have an army backing it up. You're gonna get pregnant, and that army is gonna say, you had better not kill that baby. He got a right to live. And when you go to kill that baby, they're going to kill you. The same way you take away that baby's right to live, they're going to take away your right to live. And that's just. That's just. What a selfish pig to think, you know. And I remember growing up, man, back in the 70s and 80s and 90s, a woman that had an abortion at least felt bad about it. Now they don't want to have to feel bad about it. On top of that, they don't want to have to feel bad. They don't want no control over the baby. They don't want to have to not have sex with whoever they want to have sex with. You are building Satan's kingdom. Get me Genesis, man, where Satan spoke to Eve in the garden. We might as well say what it is, because that's what it is. You giving Satan right. I mean, Satan's giving you the right to have everything he promised you in the Garden of Eden. That promise he's trying to keep. He's trying to keep that promise, as evil as it is. As evil as it is. Belle, I said, you right, Belle. They want to celebrate it. And that old Oprah Winfrey, she led the charge on it. They don't want no guilt for taking that baby's life. That's why God's a man of war. God's a man of war because God sends an army of angels to correct the things that you refuse to correct. Like there's a reason there's a reason for armies. Armies are made to protect people. And Christ is building an army. He got an army of angels coming for that very reason, because you refuse to give that justice to that baby, man. You refuse to give that justice. And like I said, that East Indian congresswoman, she turned around and said she knew she wasn't ready to have another child. You was ready to have sex as much as you wanted to. You knew the consequences that could happen from having sex, but you don't want the penalty for it. You don't want the penalty for it because getting to the Congress is more important than that child's life. Now, y'all abominable, man. And this place is creating an amazingly evil woman. By doing that, you teaching a woman to be compassionless, which creates a monster. Then you wonder why she, like Johnny Depp, they said Johnny Depp's woman got up. You brought it out, right? Johnny Depp's woman got up. He in the bed sleep, brother. Like I try to put myself in the position of certain things just so I could understand the trauma that people go through in life. It's part of my job. But brother, imagining you sleeping in the bed, you in a multi-million-dollar mansion, silk sheets on the bed. They bringing you orange juice and fruit in the morning, your butler or whatever, whoever. Johnny Depp makes $25 million, sometimes $100 million, I heard. The Pirates of the Caribbean, he made so much cash out. You know, man, you can look at him and tell he take his drugs come from the doctor. He a drug addict, not from the cat on the corner. He's on drugs from a doctor sitting in the lab measuring up all the dope he wants. You understand? He on the best dope. and she stand up in the middle of your bed while you dead asleep, take her drawers. What kind of human does this? Take her drawers off out and defecate on your head while you sleep. It'd be a homicide. Like it'd be a homicide. That's what she did to him. Like you producing a woman like that. If you allow women to just murder the baby in their own belly, then they gonna be compassionate, which is so backwards, because that is the one trait of a woman that you need the most. Like you need the trait of compassion for a woman to raise children. You need the trait of compassion for a woman to take care of men of war. What did they say they was doing? Remember when they started showing you the Ukraine? What were them women doing? Them women were down in bunkers, and they were sewing parachutes and camouflage gear and getting together all the food and drinks to feed the people. You need women in times of trouble to be compassionate. And if they ain't even compassionate to their own children, then you done destroyed the majority of the use of a woman. You done destroyed the majority of it. You can't bring forth no babies by yourself. Even though the beast is trying to put a womb in a man and all that, and get you pregnant, or take a woman, give her male hormones so she grow a beard, cut her breast off, and then get her pregnant. Feed the baby Similac, doped up on heroin, doped up on steroids, just so you can prove that you can make a man have a baby, which is the dumbest waste of money in the first place, because you got enough men out here to make all the babies. You claim you ain't got enough money for overpopulation, too many babies. So what the hell are you trying to make a woman have a baby? I mean, a man have a baby, when you got so many babies coming from women that you claim you don't have enough food for. You claim you ain't got enough food for, so you want to cut down the population, yet you trying to make a man have a baby. We'll show you ain't trying to cut down. You trying to bring in Satan. You trying to let every demon loosed in hell on this earth is what you trying to do. You trying to come up and bring forth every wicked force you can. And so without that in a woman, what the hell you gonna do? That's one of her greatest attributes. That's what makes her more powerful. That's why you churches fail, because you put the broad up on the podium and got her talking like a man instead of teaching her to be compassionate. That's why people is starving in the streets. Your church, you got a giant-ass cathedral, wealthy and powerful, but you can't get the women in the church to come together and feed nobody on the street. The hell you got homeless shelters for, when you got millions and millions of women who's supposed to have the compassion to organize and help these brothers and sisters? Big shout out to the Daughters of Zion.
That's right.
Big shout out to them and all their food programs, and feed the sister Nadia, I believe her name is, come on y'all, give me them names from the mighty brother out there in Tennessee. Nadia. You understand? Holding it down. A big shout out to Captain Ty Ward, his wife doing an amazing job, and all the other sisters involved helping out badass sisters. There is compassion as hell. Go ahead, Op. Damn, Bell, wait, I'm cut you off for a second. Hold that thought. Bell said they feeding the pastor only. Bell, I think you right, man. Nadia in Nashville, Tennessee. A big shout out to Nadia and her husband, man. Two jewels in the truth of the Most High, man, holding it down there with their captain in Nashville, Tennessee. I mean, if you see their food operation, listen, their food operation actually makes me angry. Because here's why it makes me angry. One is so spectacular. They created it and put it together themselves. Here's why I'm so damn angry at it. Because you churches done had the ball for so long. You had 60 years and a gazillion churches on every corner in the world. And I got to go see my children who I raised up in this truth. I got to see them do your goddamn job with you while you don't do a damn thing, man. Big shout out to Nadia and her husband. What's her husband's name again? Let me get his name right. I always forget that brother's name. Powerful brother in this truth, man. Nadia's husband. Tazla, give me his name. Nashak? Nashak. Brother Salakia. Big shout out to Nashak, man. Salakia for messing up your name, Nashak. Big shout out to Nashak out in Nashville, Tennessee, man. Nashak and Nadia. That should be a song should be made about them two. The way they feeding everybody, man. I mean, you should see her operation. Her operation is like a commercial restaurant or something. You sitting up there letting them poison you with McDonald's. Who the hell knows what's in half of this garbage we eating out here? Right. You wondering why you can't sleep at night? Your body all messed up. You going crazy. You wondering what the hell is wrong? Your brain don't work right. Can't sit in the chair 5 minutes. Your kids is out of their goddamn mind. All this garbage they feeding us. That's part of it too. Don't no other nation. A nation fixes when things are broken. Once again, go to
That's
YouTube
right.
and look at the women of Ukraine. They out there in Ukraine trying to help the men who's out there dying every day. And guess what? You out there dying every day. And now you ain't got compassionate women because you taught them how to murder your own baby. You taught them how to kill your baby. Give me some more.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3.
And wait a minute, can I still lock? Yeah, I know you hold some stuff. I gotta say one more thing on piss me off like I can't even explain. How in West of Hell is the Republican Party, who's anti-black people and Latino people, gonna be the one leading the charge to end abortion? How in West Hell? They show you brainwashed. You brainwashed in the Democratic Party. Because how in hell are you going to let another party teach you to turn against God? And you black people, Latino people, you in all these churches. And you going to let them make you turn against God when it comes to killing our babies? That's what you're going to do? You're going to let the richest, most powerful empire in the world tell you they ain't got enough food. You a fool. You are a fool if you believe this empire don't have enough food. I told you, I was in the food industry. I ran trucks for years. And brother, if you see these high security areas where they got food at, you would not believe it. You would not. They got areas in this country that's as big as a military base. Listen to me good. They big as a military base filled with food. Filled. Trucks coming in and out. You never even heard of these places. They don't even have a sign on the gate. You come up, you get an address punched into your computer, you pull up to a gate, you pass your ID, they scan it. You pass your manifest, they scan it. It come back clean, they let you in, they crack the gate. They got military guards. You go on inside, brother, and I'm talking warehouses and warehouses and warehouses and warehouses full of food, and warehouses clean, brother, that look like they just built the warehouse that day. It looked that clean inside. The streets clean, the warehouse clean, the gates clean like you never even seen. Okay? And they run them operations. When you back your truck up to the dock, they got an automatic hook that come out from under the ground and grab your truck and bring it back to the gate just to make sure don't nobody get hurt or none of that food drop on the ground or create a mess out. They got all kind of cats in there with temperature control modules and all that. This place is full of food. They just ain't giving it to your dumb ass so you can go out there and go kill your baby thinking that you ain't got a better way, which is insanity, man. You understand? Which is insanity in this place, man. You crazy. Go ahead, Doc. Yeah, I'm coming to him. Don't y'all shut me down yet, Mirage. Let me give my couple minutes here. Mirage ready to shut my stuff down already. You know what I mean? It's crazy what they doing. Go ahead, run them on down, Warrior. Mm-hmm.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, have God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree...
You can jump up to where he said, where he started describing her what he gonna give her, where he starts saying, your eyes gonna be open, you shall be like a god. It's a little further down, might be a verse or two down, but I want to go right to what he promised her. Everybody know the story about that, but give him a little bit of what he promised her. And brother, you fulfilling that. Black woman, our wonderful Latino women, you fulfilling that promise. When you go in that abortion clinic and murder that baby, you fulfilling that promise to Satan. You done align yourself with Satan, and you done sacrifice your child. Don't open, listen, if you Latino in America or anywhere in the world, Central, South America, wherever, if you are Latino and you reading about the Aztecs and the Mayans, and you reading about how they had human sacrifice and how they cut the hearts out of the human, if you are a white person and you reading the ancient history of the Aztecs and the Mayans, and you reading about how that they had, human sacrifice and cut the heart out the person and all that. If you reading any of that, okay, then what you shocked about? That's what you doing in the abortion clinic. You ain't doing no different than passing your child through the fire of Molech. You can jot that one down. You can pull that too. You understand? That's what you doing. Don't be shocked at that. That's the same damn thing. They was doing it back then. The empire doing it right now. But you reading about them Latinos like, oh, they were so horrible. They was barbaric. They was cutting the hearts out of people, sacrificing it to the gods. You killing the baby, you sucking the baby out of people and sacrificing it to your God. Because that East Indian that said she killed that baby because she wasn't ready to have another child, she sacrificed that baby to sit in the Congress of the God of this empire, man. The God of this empire gave her a high seat as a congresswoman, and she gave up her baby to get it. To get it. You understand? Give me some more on that verse.
Genesis chapter 3 and verse 5. For God doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open.
The day you turn to the left and go into eating all the philosophy of Satan, of the left-hand side against the Most High, then you're going to turn around and your eyes going to be open to all the evil that there is. He used our woman to do this. That's why you are never to follow a woman. If you can't lead her, brother, you better learn how to lead her. You better help your woman. To not lead your woman is to hurt your woman, man. Is to do your woman a disservice to why she married you. You sit up there and let her lead you when she gave you her body for you to lead her. And you are disservicing her, man. You are cheating her out of the reward that she's supposed to get by being your wife. She's supposed to get the help she needs with decision making. She's supposed to get the help she needs with direction in her life. She's supposed to get the help she needs in cases of physical things. She's supposed to get the protection she needs as a woman. You shorten your woman by being like Will Smith. That's why that animal turned on him. Because he, with all his wealth and power, he didn't learn the lesson the Lord showed him. You are to lead that woman. That's her reward. What's wrong with you, man? This world is upside down now. This is a crazy, backwards, upside down world. World is twisted. Keep going.
And ye shall be as gods.
And you shall be as a god. You're going to be powerful. You're going to make it to the Congress. You're going to make it to the Senate. You're going to be the diva. You're going to be a superstar. You might even be president like the other East Indian they're getting ready to trying to put up there. You're going to make it to the heights of the empire. You're going to be like a god. You're going to be worshiped by all your fans when you're a superstar. This Satan promised to these things. So just follow me. Do what I say. Trade it all. Get the kingdom of heaven and everything else. Peter did. Peter ran at first. He ran. Fear broke Peter, man. But Peter came back, man, and stood up for the king. You read on later on in the book of Acts, he was sorrowful. Christ had to come back and visit and rebuild their spirit up because they was broken after Christ was gone. They knew they didn't do their job. They didn't stand up. They saw the great benefit of Christ. Peter and them was depressed. They was clinically depressed. You go back and read in the book of Acts. Peter and the disciples was clinically depressed, so much so that Christ came back and didn't let them know that that was him and ministered on to them, man, and had to lift their spirit up and say, I know he God. I ain't going to go to the scripture, but he was like, I know he's gone, but he'll be back. Don't worry about it. Hang in there, basically. And Peter and them came up out of it, man, and changed the whole world. And that's why I look at a young black man, young Latino man, young Native Indian man. I look at him, man. I look at, ooh, what do the Lord have here? Like, who is this cat? What is he going to do? What is the Lord going to do with him? The Most High is raising up amazing you. All the greats that you've heard about in them scriptures, the Lord bringing them back in the end. What do you think he bringing them back for? Bringing them back for this final day of judgment on the face of this earth, man. They coming back. You understand? So you don't know what they might do because Peter sure rocked the world, brought down the Roman Empire. That's what Peter did. Became more important than the emperor of Rome. So much that Justinian converted and began to follow Christ. One of the last few black emperors of the Byzantine Empire. Go ahead, give me a little more.
Khan, knowing good and evil.
Knowing good and evil. Now you're going to know how to live wickedly as well as righteously. You ain't going to just obey. It's going to be your choice because that's what it was before. Before we went in the left-hand side in the garden, we only obeyed and did what the Lord said. Then we went and broke the law, God's law, and learned what it was like to be wicked. But Satan looked at it like a good thing. My choice. I should have the choice. A woman's choice. You want the choice to be righteous or to be a murderer. That's the choice you want. You want to be righteous or a murderer. You don't get that choice. There's consequences for them choices. Consequences. That's why God raising up an army for them babies, man.
That's right.
You understand? You done put a baby inside you. You needed a man to do that. You've created a new thing. That ain't got nothing to do with your body. Other than you have to nurse it. You don't have a right to kill it because you paid the bill. You rob a bank. If you get caught, you go into jail. Went totally. 1 2 1 2. All right, all right. God, big shout out to my Shema Ayaz. You right. Trying to slam the game on us. We back? Okay, let's keep going, man. No sound. Hebrew sister said no sound. That's probably okay. All right. Y'all give me a 1. If you get me, give me a 1 before I go. Anybody get me out there, hit me up with a 1. 1 me up, please, if you get me. I ain't seeing nothing in the live chat. Nothing in the live chat. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get it up here. Okay, I got the 1s. Yeah, we good. We good. Okay. All right. Let's get back on it. All right. Yeah, we getting it. The water, y'all. The water. We got the 1s. Everybody in there. So that's crazy, man. We learned the left-hand side from Satan, and we're going to turn around and now kill the baby. And the baby ain't got no rights, but you got all the rights. It's such vanity, man. And that's what Satan always uses on a woman. If you a vain woman, you easily fooled. That's the point. If everything that glitters is gold to you, you are easily fooled. And that's what Satan has used on you. Your body, you, vanity, yourself. You're the most important thing. Meanwhile, you going against the very spirit that the Lord put inside you. Why do I say that? Because the Lord put a spirit in you that when you get pregnant, the normal natural course is for you to stop thinking of yourself and for you to start thinking about that baby. That's like a biological change in you. Like you get brought down. That's why a lot of women talk about that postpartum depression and all that. You're going through a chemical change. And that chemical change is supposed to make you pull back from your own selfish vanity and get perspective on how you're supposed to be on top of the survival of this child. But this evil world under Satan is to teach you to not think that way, to turn against that spirit, which is insanity, man. Give me some more.
Sir. Verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and it was pleasant to the eyes.
Right. She saw that it was good for food, meaning she saw that it was a way to gain from following this philosophy. That's what it means when they say that she saw it was good for food. Remember, we talking about a spiritual tree. We ain't talking about a physical tree you pull fruit off of. We're talking about a spiritual tree, which means this is a spiritual philosophy, a spiritual way to think, which is the spirit of Satan and the philosophy of the Antichrist. And she felt like this, I could get rich off of this. I could be a hoe and get on a stage and perform and become a superstar. I could show my body and become a superstar, which is against God. I could stop listening to my husband and instead just appeal to my own vanity, which is also against the Lord, and become great and wealthy and powerful. I could do all these things. Go from there. Read that part again for me.
Khan, sir. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food.
The tree was good for food. Come on.
And that it was pleasant to the eye.
And pleasant to the eye. This philosophy sounds good. It looks good on you. God love everybody. Holy Ghost filled in the name of Jesus. God love everybody. Everybody love that statement. I don't hate nobody. I'm about love for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I don't discriminate. I'm about good for all. I want to see everybody do good. All these so-called cliche-ish statements of philosophy that is against the God, but yet touted as being something wise. It makes no sense for you to have children before a certain age when you have a career to build. You understand? You love to have a woman barefoot and pregnant, not me. I'm going to go out and build my career. That's philosophies of this empire that we've taken on and poisoned our mind and destroyed us, man. Turned us against the Father. Go ahead, Doc. Same problem?
Sir, if I could
Please,
add, if I don't mind, if you don't mind, sir. They also say like, oh, you got time to do that. Don't worry about that now. You got time. You got time to come back and do all that stuff. Like that's the game.
Let me tell you, they brainwashed black women and Latino women, Native Indian women so well. There was a time when they was going around heavy saying, don't have no unwarranted children. Remember that? Don't have no unwarranted. Here's another good one they pull. Teenage pregnancy. We got to stop teenage pregnancy. We got to stop teenage pregnancy. So you came up with all kind of abortion pills. So teenage pregnancy then went up exponentially. Just the babies you didn't want to come from it, that you ain't get, because you don't want more Israelites flooding your kingdom and filling up your kingdom. When really you wasn't worried about the teenage pregnancies. You was worried about the babies coming forth. You wasn't worried about teenage sex. You was just worried about the baby that would come from it. You want to make sure that didn't happen. You understand? Go ahead, Op.
And if I may too, they also push it like you got your whole life ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most famous one. You got your whole life ahead of you. They push that one so heavy, sir.
Yes. You got your life ahead of you. Don't mess up your life, your career. So go murder your baby. And you ain't gonna tell me sisters that done had that don't think about that baby, man. Years and years and years and years later. Many brothers as well. We've been taught to be this way. It ain't your fault. That's another thing. You know, I'm a big advocate of stop blaming black people, Latino people, Native Indian people for their condition, man. That ain't your fault. You was taught the same way that snake came to Eve in the garden and gassed her up with them lies and made her believe them lies. You was also put in that same position. You was also put in that same position and taught that same damn lie. Go ahead.
Kana Wakan. And it was slugging. And it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise.
Right. And it go all into the whole philosophy that made her believe she would have a success in this kingdom, which is what we believe. Which is what we believe, man. When it's a horrifying, evil thing. Don't pay, what they say? Don't pay the crime. Don't do the crime if you don't want to do the time. You don't want to have to raise a baby for 18 years. Don't go out and have sex. Don't do it. Go out and find you the right brother, marry him, and build your life and your career. And that's a damn lie today anyway. With all the technology today, you can have kids and have a career and know nothing changed. And with real family structure, you really could have kids because the grandmamas would be back in effect. Grandmamas and grandfathers used to be in full effect. But they getting high and dropping dead at 40. So you ain't got grandma and grandpa to help you out with the baby while you go to work. You understand? The whole structure of us as a people has been broken down from the very same philosophy that we following today, man. Like at the end of all this madness and all these empires and all this war that's about to take place in the earth, we're going to come to the same daggone conclusion that the Lord had it right in the first daggone place. We're going to come to the same daggone conclusion that the Lord had it right in the first place. And guess what? When that war in Ukraine broke out, I ain't see a bunch of women say, well, we got equal rights. Give me my gun. I ain't see a bunch of that. I ain't see them say, we're going to start an army with all women. I ain't see them say, let the men go in there and put the food together and put the parachutes together. They ain't do that. They turned around, man, and everybody fell into their role at that point, right or wrong. Everybody fell into their role at that point. Go ahead, Doc.
I was going to say, sir, if I may, you know what I mean? Zelensky, he made all the trans women stay. Like those that were trying to identify, you know what I mean, as women, he said, no, you can't go. Your birth certificate say you a man. Your ID say you a man. You got to stay.
Damn. High heels and lipstick out there clacking that gun. You know what I'm saying? Ridiculous, man. Go ahead, give me the next scripture on it.
Kana Wakan, sir, the book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 3. Even the sea monsters draw out the breast.
This is a heavy scripture, man. Even a sea monster will feed its young. Even a sea monster will do that. Will feed its babies. Go ahead.
Khan. They give suck to their young ones.
Come on.
The daughter of my people is become cruel.
Right. Once again, man, the Most High, boy, without this Bible, man, without this Bible, you understand, we be lost in the sauce. They're going to try to get rid of this Bible after a while because this is the only thing that's stopping them. This Bible is the only thing that's stopping the full understanding of Satan coming in. And they know trying to convince you against Satan is not working. Oh, later for that Bible. Oh, who's to say it's true? Oh, there's many religions from it. Blah, 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 blah. They doing all that talking. But here's why it can't affect. Because eventually you're going to open it and study it. And the Lord always raise up prophets. That's what you understand. There's a connection to that Bible. That book called the Bible is connected to the almighty power because it's his words that it was written of. It was inspired by him. So he always has among the 12 tribes, men and women who will read that Bible and the Lord activate them. And then they wake up and open their eyes, and then the Lord start teaching them like he did with us, giving them the knowledge of the truth and waking them up. And then you got a problem because now the very book you trying to discredit, the Lord have given them prophets to show them the understanding of the book. And then when they get the understanding of the book, they blown away because they realize that everything going on in the wicked world is exactly what the book said would happen. So then they start following the Lord's word in that book. So that book becomes a problem. And that's no other record on this earth like that. There's no other record on this earth that have moved the earth more than the Bible. Right. I don't care what record or philosophy of God you can think of. No record have moved this earth like this Bible. And this is in a wicked world. You better forget about it when Jerusalem get built. When Jerusalem is built and the 12 tribes are in their land, every scripture say all nations shall draw on to her. Every nation is going to want to know how can they convert to being a Hebrew Israelite. Every nation on earth, they're going to give up every god on this earth that you ever heard of. They're going to get rid of every last one of them. You don't think it can happen, but it's going to happen. And they're going to all be trying to say, how can I be a Hebrew? How can we be, even though we heathens, how can we follow the ways of the Hebrew Israelites? And the Lord said himself, he said, it will be your wisdom. It's going to be what make the other nations say, yo, they deep, man. They heavy. Them records. Matter of fact, get that to me. You know the one I'm talking about. The Lord said it's going to be heavy. It's going to be what makes them look at you in a better light. But they ain't looking at you in a better light now. You're murdering your baby at 350,000 a clip. Would show you why women can't be in charge. Because men would have this wherewithal to say, whoa, it's 350,000 babies here being killed. Maybe we need to do something about it. And they turn around and say, well, there's not enough food to feed everybody. How dumb could that be? Like a smart man wouldn't say, okay, we got 350,000 babies a year, too many people. A dumb man would say, well, let's just kill the babies. So this way we ain't got 350,000 a year. We just murder the baby. That's a dumb man. A wise man will say, let's see how we can make enough food for 350,000 more people. That's what a wise man would do. But you can't expect that from an evil man. An evil man ain't going to make more food. An evil man going to wipe out more people. It's just so backwards, man. Which is why we need Christ and these records. Read it. Tell them where you at.
Khan, sir. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom.
No. Go up above that. You gotta give them the whole thing. One verse or so above it.
Khan, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 4. But ye did cleave unto the Lord your God, are alive every one of you this day.
Come on. I'm sorry to cut you off. He that cleaveth to the Lord, you alive this day. Meaning not just physically alive, but your eyes are open. You're alive to the world that's around you. You understand right and wrong now. You understand what should and shouldn't be. You understand that killing a baby in a damn clinic with a suction cup and a pair of forceps is insanity. It's Frankenstein. And then on top of it, they caught him on tape. Remember that? They caught them on tape selling our babies' body parts. Amazing. $70 for a kidney, $50 for a foot, X amount for a lung. They selling them babies, man. And you so dumb. You kill the baby because you think you don't have enough money to raise the baby. They take the baby that you killed and go sell it to make more money from them. Well, you living in Frankenstein world, huh? You living in Frankenstein's world. You living in a madhouse. You don't even know it. You living in a sociopathic madhouse and you don't even know it. Selling body parts of our fetuses. They caught them on tape. It came out. It came out on tape. And you know that this is the program of the empire because they sanitize everything. Them pictures that you see of ripped apart fetuses, they the only pictures available in the world. They done somehow wiped out all fetus abortion photos worldwide, except for those got out. That's damn good. And that's why now they use incinerators because they don't want to take a chance. The reason they caught those baby fetuses because it was one time they'd suck the baby out of you and they'd throw them all in trash bags. So all you had to do was go around the back of the abortion clinic, tear open the trash bag, and it'd be 1,000 fetuses sitting in there dead, all in pieces. So somebody decided to say, I'm going to go take a picture of this, and ripped it open. And there were the fetuses. They sprued them out on the ground and took a photo camera and snapped the photos. That's how you got the abortion pictures that you got today. But the abortion clinics moved quickly. They said, oh, we can't have this. So they created incinerators. And the incinerators is so good that you can't even smell it. I ain't talking incinerator like old school. They got a real high, sophisticated incinerator with charcoal filters on it, where they burning up them fetuses, and you could be in the office next door and you can't even smell it because the filters is pressurized and sucked through filters so that the air comes out clean after they done burnt up the body. You don't even, it ain't like a crematorium or something like that. I'm talking about high technology to wipe them babies out. And who gonna fight for them? Which one of them need a life to live? And the greatest example of it, of course, is the results of the abort. I mean, let me tell you something, y'all. Let me tell y'all something, fam. If you listening in this show, abortion is so evil and against the Lord. Excuse me. This is why I want you to understand that. Do you know that Moses ended up in Pharaoh's house based on abortion? Based on a sincere mother and father, Amram and Yoshebel. Based on a man and a woman who loved life and loved their babies, that boy ended up in Pharaoh's kingdom. And that same boy parted the Red Sea and freed all the children of Israel from the abortion clinic. And you going out killing your baby, you better repent, man. If you did it before, like I said, Christ came for us to die. Peter turned on the Lord. The Lord still had Peter raise up and change the world with his actions. Moses fled out of Egypt, running from Pharaoh after he got caught defending a brother. Lord sent him back and he freed a nation. This was a kid that was destined for the abortion clinic. Hold it now. This is a cat that was destined for the abortion clinic that freed an entire nation of Israel. And you would take a chance at killing your baby? Your baby might be the next one to do that. You don't know what that boy or girl gonna do. You saying for your career you got to kill your baby? You brainwashed. You brainwashed, you're a fool, and God gonna kill you because it's against his law if you don't repent. The beautiful part is in the nation of Israel, we don't have to adhere to the white man. You don't have to say, well, I got to be proud of that I had an abortion. Why don't you be sad and repent and go before your Father in heaven and say, Lord, forgive me, and he will. And he will. And cut you loose clean, brand new, regardless of where you came from and what you suffered. He's going to make you brand new, man. You're going to be able to go on and do something amazing. You know what I'm saying? Go on and make you amazing. Just Art and Pain says someone gave you the chance to live. Give the same chance to someone else. A fetus is living. That's heavy. You know what I mean? Like, that's true. Like, once again, life is supposed to be important because it's not replaceable. This is better than the finest wine. Once you pop the cork on a $10,000 bottle of wine, you can't put the cork back on it. Once you drink the wine, you can't bring it back. It's rare, and that's why it costs so much. So guess what? Life is rare, especially the children of Israel who's destined to rule this planet. Lord knows what it is that he have in store for us. So how you going to squander that life off like it's a small thing, especially reading that Moses come from abortion? That's all I needed to say. Once I done said that, that's supposed to be a wrap. Once I turn around and said Moses, the man that parted the Red Sea, is a product of somebody not being allowed to force you into abortion clinic. You supposed to kill somebody. They try to tell you to go to abortion clinic, not kill them outright, but you get my point. You supposed to protect that pregnancy like Amram and Yoshebel did. They went criminal on them. They became criminals hiding that baby, man. They became, espionage agents hiding that boy. Put him in the basket, in the manger, hit him in the brush sprout, watched him from a distance. They went I.S.P.K on him. They went like the KGB trying to get a package out the country, man, to deliver that boy. That's what they did for that boy. All the dumbasses turned around and went and had him kill the baby, man. All the idiots that were sitting up there believing Pharaoh's philosophy like you idiots sitting in church with your suit and tie on, dumb and stupid as you could be. You the one that would go and do that. Well, they said we got to bring the babies. Dummy. Dummy. Amram and Yoshebel wasn't no criminals, but they became criminals that day. I ain't telling you to be no damn criminal, but at least know right and wrong so you know what to stand for, black man, black woman, Latino man, Latino woman, Native Indian man, Native Indian woman. Come on, man. At least know what to stand for. My goodness, man. This is a no-brainer. And it sickens my heart personally. And I know the Lord watching because it sickens my heart the fact that the white man on the Republican side got to be the one to fight for that right. And they know that the world, the empire is so full of demons, they tried to hide it. They didn't want it to come out that they was even discussing it. But somebody leaked it out. And once it got leaked out, the country went crazy. They protesting in Washington, New York, all over the country. Women running around, they want a right to murder. And listen, and if you look at the amount of people that's protesting, that should tell you how many abortions is going on. While you're looking at the massive crowds of black and Latino people in there standing up, protesting up in Washington and different places, I want you to also imagine how many of these women have and will continue to murder the babies of God's chosen people. How many? Tons. 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 Okay? Tons. And it's wicked and evil as hell. You holding anything else before I go? Is that it on that scripture? Finish that one up. You holding something else beside that? Okay, go ahead and finish that. Tell me what else you got. I'm going to try to wrap this up. We almost out of time. Come on with it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that you should do so in the land, whether you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
Keeping them laws, statutes, and commandments is your wisdom in the sight of these nations. You think these nations hate the Israelite school of UPK because of the way we dress? or because of the way we talk. They hate us because of the wisdom we pour out while they try to brainwash and destroy the minds of the people so that the people can turn around and just be automatons for their wicked agenda, man. So, of course, they hate black men. That's why you got to be a man. That's why men is so important. Black, Latino, and Native Indian men, you got to be men to stand up and say, whoa, this ain't right, and speak on it. That's wisdom that come from the Lord. They don't want that coming out. Creates too many problems. Finish it.
And say, surely this nation is which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
That's a wise and understanding people, they're going to say. Why are they saying wise and understanding? Because if blacks, Latino, and Native Indians got up and said, look, we ain't killing all our babies, man. We're going to come up with another way to make more food if that's what's necessary. But every last one of our babies is going to be born and flourish and grow. They would say this is a wise nation. That's why, how did they depopulate us in Egypt? They said, let us deal wisely with them. They used their wisdom against our wisdom and destroyed us to where the Lord had to send Moses to come get us. The Lord had to send a man whose parents got him to escape the abortion clinic to save the rest of our dumb asses. Because they had used their wisdom on us and depopulated us. But if you had resisted it, they would have said, man, they wise. They ain't letting us play them to kill their babies. They're pretty smart. We got to figure out another way. But they don't have to do that because they done brainwashed you to murder them babies, man. They dealing wisely with you. But if you kept the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments, the Lord said that would be your wisdom in the sight of the nations, man. We threw our wisdom away. Now the so-called Jew using our wisdom in Israel, killing off the Palestinians and whoever else is their enemies. The empire using the wisdom against us, brainwashing us with their racism and their white Jesus. Everybody's using it, man. Using our records and their wisdom on us instead of us using it on them. It's crazy, man. Hey, man, we over the time. I got to get up out of here, man. ISUPK.com is the website. Support the truth. Go on there. Pay your tithes. Back up this whole program we've been doing for so long, trying to push this truth all the way into the stratosphere and wake all our brothers and sisters up. Hey, this is the blackwatch.news channel. Check us out every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, 9 p.m. live. Saturday show, man. Captain Shock and all the brothers get it in. All the captains throw down. I'm here solo on Wednesday, and then Monday I bring in all the heavy hitters, General Muhammad, General Mayat, General Hazayan. We do it up. Officer Marah is always on the helm with his team, Yadai and Ibar. I'll see y'all next time, family, live on the UPK. Y'all take care. Y'all shalom.
According to God, the white man is the devil.
You see, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white man. Stop the ass shit. Give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and say, I God, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that bygone. Go ahead, stop the ass shit. Promise, my niggas serious. Boy, when they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, what the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. You cashed down on your blood, traded you in and bought a new beast. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed he up on parole because of the COVID. It feel like the hoes in this world that don't go together. Know it's gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Yeah, see the prophets. I'm tired.